Hi, welcome to episode 3 of Owen's Birds. My name is Cathy Comora, and I'm in New Jersey. I'm speaking with my father, who is in Sarasota, Florida. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Cathy.
My dad is a bird naturalist, and he is a volunteer at Myakka River State Park. What do you do at Myakka State Park?
Well, I set up my spotting scope, my field guides, my bird photographs, and I try to identify the birds for visitors who flock to the park from all over the world.
Do you have a lot of different birds there?
Oh yeah, we've had well over 200 different species. And on a given day, right from the bird walk, within an hour, we can probably see 40 or 50 different species right there. I started the program, I think I mentioned in the first program, started this about 11 years ago. And it's grown. We've got people there every day of the week from November through mid-April for, I guess, from 8 o'clock in the morning to 1 p.m. And it's really a lot of fun. We meet a lot of interesting people, and maybe we give them a little bit of a lesson about the environment as well as the birds. We have thousands of people who come to the bird walk every year. Thousands. Somebody might have a number, but we don't actually keep a number. We get very busy around Thanksgiving and Easter, but there's a constant flow of people coming out there.
Today we're going to be discussing field guides.
That's right. We talked about binoculars the last time, and now we're going to talk about field guides. You know, when I started birding in 1945, I believe it was, this is what I had to bird with. This little flip page guide. It was next to useless. Then, later on that year, in 1945, I guess it was in November, my mother gave me this field guide to the birds. This field guide was a revolutionary field guide, and Roger Peterson put this together. It only had 3 color plates altogether, 3 color plates. But what he did was he didn't draw every feather. He drew the important identification features and put arrows and lines directing to them, giving you an idea of what to look for first in order to identify a particular bird. As I said, it revolutionized birding in America. But since this book came out, this is the 2nd edition, but since this book came out, a number of other wonderful books, field guides, have come out, including the one that his wife finished. This is the 5th edition of Roger Peterson's Field Guide to the Birds of Eastern and Central North America. This book has hundreds of color pages, and it's even got range maps where you can expect to find each of the birds that you look at. It's a wonderful new book, and that one is the 5th edition. Published by Houghton, Houghton, Mifflin, Mifflin, the 5th edition. National Geographic has a beautiful bird book which has index, so you can reach specific families of birds easily. Always check to see if you are getting the latest edition of any one of these field guides. And this one is published by National Geographic. Now there's a wonderful new version of the Peterson Field Guide. This was completed by his wife since Roger Peterson passed away. This is the 5th edition of the birds of Eastern and Central North America. There's also one for Western North America, and this also was published by Houghton Mifflin. Then there's a field guide that was put out by the National Geographic Society, published by them, and it's a field guide to the birds of North America. Okay. That's also excellent with some nice pictures in it. The Ken Kaufman has put together a much lighter weight field guide. It is different in that it's using photographs and he has technically, through a computer, augmented the photographs. The pictures are smaller. There are range maps involved with this one too. And it's, for those who don't want to carry a lot of weight around, this one pretty well serves the purpose.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Now, about a dozen years ago, David Allen Sibley finished his monumental bird book called The Sibley Guide to Birds, and it was published by Alfred A. Knopf, helped out by Audubon, National Audubon Society. But this is kind of the Bible today of birding. It took him 12 years to do all the writing and the drawing of these pictures, but it is the definitive book. But if you go out in the field, what's wrong with this book?
You're holding it too high?
No.
It's too heavy. It's big.
It's much too heavy. So David Sibley noted that, and he came out with a Eastern edition and a Western edition, both of which are much easier to handle as field guides. Incidentally, the big book has sold close to 1 million copies.
Wow.
It is a bestseller, and rightfully so. Everything in both of these books is contained in the big book.
Okay, good.
Okay, but they're much easier to handle in the field. There are now bird guides to where to find the birds after you're able to identify them in these different books and with your binoculars. You may not have a lot of time when you visit Florida, for instance, so you want to get yourself a copy of A Birder's Guide to Florida. This doesn't identify the birds, but it tells you where the best places in Florida are to find those birds. So that one is by Bill Prantey, published through the American Birding Association, and it's a wonderful guide for if you're touring around Florida. If you're just going to be in Sarasota or the Sarasota area, this is a very valuable book for you to have. It is called The Birding Hotspots in Sarasota and Manatee Counties, and by looking through this book and looking at all the various maps, this will tell you where to go to see certain birds and when to go there. It's a fabulous book that is supplemental to all the bird identification books that we showed you.
Do you have those books with you when people come to see you at the park?
No, I have 1 or 2 books, and then I have my picture book of birds I've photographed in and around the park.
Ah.
And then I can tell them different books that they can get if they want to buy books themselves. I do have copies of the Birding Hotspots because a lot of people ask me about this book. And they sell for $6, and all the money goes back to Sarasota or Venice Audubon Societies.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, yeah. So those are the books. Those are the things that are available. There are so many different bird books. People in any state in the Union and in Canada can, through the American Birding Association, the ABA.com, they can order these books at a discount through ABA.com. And these people can find books for every state in the Union. They can also find them, I believe, for many of the countries in the world where there are birds. It's just an amazing thing that wherever you go around the world, you can take a bird book, a pair of binoculars, and then try to identify the birds in those areas. It's a wonderful hobby. Get you out in the fresh air and keep you out of trouble.
Okay, well that wraps up this episode of Owen's Birds. Please join us next week what will we be talking about, Owen?
Churchill in Manitoba, Canada. And it's a trip I'm really looking forward to. I'm hoping to get some more birds for my life list.
Yay. Okay, so you'll be taking lots of pictures and some movies?
Yes, I certainly hope so. And until then, happy birding to everyone.
Bye.
Bye.